What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review, and this time we are reviewing episode 3 of Welcome to Paradox, and it is called The Winner. Please remember to check the link in the description below. Hop on over if you want to sign up for the Patreon. You will get everything a full week early. And with that being said, this was directed by Charles Wilkinson, written by Donald E. Westlake and George Melrod, and was released August 31st, 1998. Some of the cast for this is Leanne Adachi as the waitress, Colin Banner is an inmate, Jennifer Clement as Inspector Sarah Klein, Daryl Hayes as the doctor, Terry Housen as Big Man, Ice-T as Revel, Sean Johnston, Blue Mankuma as Franklin, Stephen E. Miller as the warden, and Ian Tracy as Cole. Um, Obviously, the biggest star in this, especially in today's day and age, is Ice-T. Although, I will say, I've seen Jennifer Clement in something else. I'm not quite sure what it was, and I am pretty sure I have seen Stephen E. Miller. Sorry, and other things. Um, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Probably my favorite one so far in the first three. Again, I've recorded episode five's everything. I did that first by accident, so when that episode comes out, guys, you're gonna be really confused on like what it says down here and everything. Please know, I messed up, and there's no way for me to actually fix it without re-recording things. I don't really want to do that, but really enjoyed this story. Really enjoyed this episode. Thought it was very well done. With that being said, to give you a quick little rundown of what happened. So you have Revel, who is back in town from doing whatever it was that he was doing, and he tries to stop a cop from abusing a waitress, or it might even be his girlfriend. I'm not 100% sure. But he doesn't know he's a cop when he goes to do it. And the cop basically takes him and his friend into jail. And just for being good Samaritans, I guess would be how you'd call it. So when they get in, they get these little bugs stuck into the back of their throat. And it's apparently a chip that connects with the nervous system. And what this chip does is anytime they are outside of the facility, there are invisible walls along the edge of the outside. And basically, if you cross a certain point, it causes you a lot of pain, causes you to see things, and basically takes you down. So then, with that, he tries to make a run for it at some point. There's some other characters. One of them is like a guy that's been there from the very beginning. He's kind of like the leader of all the inmates. He's not a bad guy. He's actually been tried up until this point in the story. He's been trying to get everybody out of prison a fair way by getting an instructor to come in and check everything out, which she is there, and speaking with the warden and watching the inmates and things like that. So Ice-T's character, Ravel, tries to escape. He doesn't even make it like 3 steps off the bottom step. He is taken in, they tweak it, and apparently each time you try to escape, it makes it to where it's supposed to be harder for them to escape. After some recovery time, he basically finds out that his buddy was betting on him, and he says to raise the bets. He's going to make it further. He gets himself thrown into the infirmary, manages to lift a painkiller, and decides he's going to try to escape again. He puts the painkiller on his arm, which it's done in a patch where you put the patch on, you push the patch, and it apparently distributes the painkiller throughout your body. And he basically makes it about halfway to the parking lot, which is where he was trying to make it to. This time they pick him up, they carry him, and put him into a jail cell. Not a jail cell, it's the box, basically. And what it is it's just a square platform, but in his head he sees walls that aren't actually there. So during all of this, shortly before that, Ravel personally had an interview with the inspector and basically disgusted her as a human being, and she was pretty much up to this point all about this chip that is able to keep people in line. And then when Ravel was trying to make that second escape, um, the guy that had been there for a long time was basically trying to tell her like it's inhumane. It's not good for people. It's actually really really bad for people. Um, and they're not actually human beings with these chips inside of them. Um, so she empathizes, but doesn't really care. Sees it as a necessity, and is getting ready to go back to tell everyone how she feels, or to basically try and get this implemented throughout all of wherever Paradox is located. All the precincts is how it was worded. So then, he gets out of the box, uh, or while he's in the box, the big guy basically walks past him, slips him some water, and he says, "I just want you to know, like, keep fighting the good fight." Um, and Ravel was confused, and the big guy starts walking down the steps himself. He makes it probably about to the point where Ravel made it the last time before he collapses and dies. They find out and realize that he had a bad heart, and he knew it, and which it's why he never tried to escape. And um, at that point, the inspector pulls him into a room to ask him some questions. Ravel, and Ravel is pretty much like, "You don't give a shit about us. No, none of you do. Like, why are we even here? Why are we having this conversation?" So she goes to leave, and as she's walking out, she's talking with the warden, and he's walking her to her car, which is on the other side of where they have kept trying to run off. And Ravel wasn't allowed to shake her hand because they don't allow handshakes in the prison. Um, she makes it almost to her car, and Ravel walks down the steps again, and this time he fights, and she's actually like, "Hey, we need to stop, like, make it stop, like, there's no reason for this." And he crawls all the way to her just to shake her hand and tell her that we're all people, and at that point passes out. He wakes up however long after that happened, and she's standing over him, and she's pretty much tells him, she's like, "Well, Ravel, I just want to let you know that I have suggested that this is no longer used. This is no longer a method used for people, and it's thanks to you." And at that point, that's pretty much the end of the story. And if you watched what I had said earlier, or if you watched the watch along, I actually. So here's the thing. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The acting from Ice-T specifically was not great here. He definitely got way better once he started doing Law and Order SVU. Now, I don't know how much in between this and SVU it was before he started. I don't know what all was in between all that. However, his acting specifically was a little bit of a struggle, but story-wise, I actually really loved the story because it kind of shows the dark side of law enforcement, because it's like that in real life. Like, there are tons of really bad and crooked cops out there. I'm not saying all of them. I am not one of those people. I've known several really good cops in my life, but there are also a lot of really bad ones out there, and some of them will do things like try to get you thrown into prison just because you tried to step in and help somebody that they didn't want you to help, or any kind of petty things. Some cops are just super power hungry, and that's just, it's unfortunate that we as humans are just terrible. We are. I hate humanity so much. But yeah, really good story, really well done. Even around Ice-T's struggle as an actor at this point, it was a lot of fun, and honestly, everything I could have hoped for out of a story for this show. So, that is going to do it. I loved it. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.